Oh, all right. Is this on? Happy 2025. Happy New Year. Let's do this. If you are a SaaS founder and you want this year, 2025, to be one of the greatest years of growth for your SaaS business, then building out a proper go-to-market strategy is likely top of mind for you. Here's a big question though. How do you build out a proper go-to-market strategy? What are the common pitfalls? How do you ensure that you don't make the wrong steps when you're actually executing on that strategy? In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 big principles that you absolutely need to know to make sure that your go-to-market strategy is battle-hardened for 2025 and you are able to accelerate your path to that next stage of growth. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this community, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching program, if you're a customer of one of my SaaS companies, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. Having been in the SaaS industry for the last 20 years, having started, scaled, and exited my last company, ToutApp, having coached over 300 founders on their go-to-market strategy, in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 principles that you absolutely need to know, you need to remember, you need to not forget in terms of your go-to-market strategy so you can have your best year ever in 2025. And also, if you watch till the end, I'll give you my favorite bonus metric that I use to figure out as I'm executing on my go-to-market strategy, if it's yielding the right results or not. If you're excited to dig into principle number 1, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's dig right into it. All right, principle number 1, in terms of building out and battle hardening your go-to-market strategy for 2025 is to set your new revenue target. This is net new ARR that you'll be adding to your existing base of ARR today. The reason I focus on net new is because sometimes people look at their existing ARR, they start getting confused about churn, they make a bunch of assumptions. The biggest thing you really want to understand is how much net new revenue are you going to add, because that motion, that go-to-market strategy is going to be wildly different than what you need to be doing to retain the revenue that you already have. Let's just say you actually have $1 million of net new revenue that you want to add in terms of your ARR base this year. Here's the big thing. A lot of times people just focus on that 1 million number. They're like, look, my average deal size is 100K, so I need 10 of those deals, and then I get my million. Okay, well, that's pretty good. However, here's the rule of thumb. In order to really understand what your go-to-market strategy needs to yield, you want to 3 to 5x that revenue number. Meaning, if you have $1 million of net new revenue target, the amount of pipeline that you need is 5 million, conservatively speaking. Some people will say 3 million, some people will say 4, but 5 million is a conservative number to go after, which means that in order to generate $1 million of revenue, if you have a win rate of say 20%, which is industry average, you need $5 million of pipeline because you're gonna win 20% of the pipeline that you have. That is your real target number for your go-to-market machine that you're building for 2025. So this is principle number 1. A lot of times people don't do the simple math that when you have a net new revenue target, what you really want to understand is how much pipeline that you need. And typically you want to 3 to 5x your target revenue number, which will tell you how much pipeline you need to generate. Those are real opportunities that your sales team can pursue, or real trials if you're product-led that your machine is going to generate in terms of getting into your product so you can try out the product and then swipe the credit card. Either way, you need to think about your pipeline number. Okay, once you have your pipeline number, then comes question number 2. Question number 2 is, what is your number 1 go-to-market channel to generate this pipeline? So in this scenario, let's just say we need $5 million of pipeline to generate that $1 million of new business, simple math. Well, there are different ways to generate these leads, which will turn into either a sales opportunity or a free trial. The lead could be through inbound social. It could be from running ads. It could be from running SEO, events, outbound, or even partners. All of these are channels. Each of these channels requires some level of channel mastery. You need to know how to post on LinkedIn if you want to generate leads on social. You need to know how to run ads if you want to generate leads from ads. You need to know how to operate in events and really stand out and rise above the noise if you're going to go to events and generate $5 million of pipeline. So one of the big things you really want to figure out is, well, what's going to be the go-to-market channel we're going to double down on? Because here's the thing, unless you have a marketing team of 10 people, you can't always do all of these channels, especially if you're just starting out. You really want to figure out is what's the one channel where our ideal customers hang out, where we have the best chance of getting attention and turning them into real engagement in terms of leads, opportunities, trials, and sales appointments. So question number 2 and principle number 2 is getting very specific on what are the 1 to 3 channels that our ICP hangs out in that we can go after to generate this $5 million of pipeline. All right, let me pause here for a second before we go to the third one, and then we'll do a recap, and I'll then give you the bonus metric that I look at to really understand if this whole thing is working. Are you starting to see the power in this? Now, there are a lot of mechanics that go into building a go-to-market strategy, and I have so many episodes on this channel on how to do that. But the bigger question is these 3 questions. What's my revenue number? How much pipeline do I need? And where am I going to get them? And the third principle is going to be important too. So if you're starting to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? And also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. Also, if you're in this stage where you're building out your go-to-market strategy and you want to drive growth and you have a certain pipeline number to hit, but you don't know how to implement all of these things, then I encourage you to check out my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Inside of this program, I'll teach you exactly how to build a scalable go-to-market machine and execute on it so you can achieve your revenue targets this year. You don't have to go anywhere right now. I'll tell you more about it at the end of this episode. Let's go to principle number 3 and then the bonus metric that I look at to see if this whole thing is working. Principle number 3 is figuring out what your differentiated message is. Hear me out. You need $5 million of pipeline. And let's just say you choose a certain number of channels you will be participating in. You're going to run ads, you're going to post on social, and maybe you'll work on some blogs. Okay. In terms of those 3, what does it say on your homepage? What does it say on your social media post? What does it say on the ad that you're running on a certain keyword? What is the keyword that you're running? This is your message. A lot of times, founders and marketers, junior marketers particularly, and shitty marketers and fractional CMOs that can't get a real CMO job, they jump into the execution. They start running the ads. They start posting. They start doing the SEO. But they haven't thought about what is our differentiated message, because at the end of the day, it is a noisy world out there. There are competitors. And even if you don't have a direct competitor because your product offering is so new, there is the default state that your customers have, which may be an Excel spreadsheet. So you really want to think about what is the message that really is differentiated. So when they see it, when they see that post, when they see that ad, when they see that homepage, they either start the trial or book that meeting or download that guide. So the messaging that you put in is a big part of your strategic work, your go-to-market strategy. And a lot of times people skip that part. So based on all of my experience, based on building so many go-to-market strategies for so many companies, these are the 3 big things you want to make sure you don't forget when you're building out your go-to-market strategy and starting to execute on it. I sincerely want to make sure you have your best year ever, especially today, now with 2025. It is an incredible time to be in SaaS, especially with everything that's happening with AI. So I want to make sure you're properly equipped. So let's recap. Principle number 1, you want to make sure you are clear on your new revenue target. And then you want to 3x that to 5x that to figure out how much pipeline that you need so that you can actually hit that revenue target. Once you figure that out, principle number 2 is what are the channels that we're going to participate in? Is it social? Is it ads? Is it SEO? Is it events? Is it outbound? Is it partners? Or is it something else? You want to be very intentional about figuring out where your ideal customer hangs out and how you can reach them to get their attention so you can generate this pipeline, this $5 million of pipeline, or whatever your number is. Once you've done those 2 things, the third thing you really want to figure out is what is my differentiated message? Whether it's on your homepage, a social media post, an ad, or a blog post, you want to make sure you have a clear, crisp, differentiated message that sets you apart and rises above the competition. And that's super important to establish in your go-to-market strategy so that by the time you're executing, then you are going to be a lot more effective. You'll be in the right channel with the right message, with the right targeting, and you'll know exactly how much pipeline you need to generate. Now, I promised you a bonus metric. Well, the bonus metric that I track for my go-to-market machines is revenue per lead. It's super straightforward. I look at how much net new revenue we're generating in a given period and how many leads we've generated in the trailing period. And based on that, we figure out if this is a net profitable effort or not. This is super important because over time, I can see whether my revenue per lead is going up, which means we're getting better and better in generating quality leads, or it's going down, or it's zero, which means that I should probably fire that fractional CMO that can't get a real CMO job and start embracing founder-led go-to-market. But in all seriousness, the revenue per lead is one of the best metrics I like to look at because it helps me understand with all the leads that we're generating, are we actually yielding revenues? Now, there are more nuanced metrics you can get into, like customer acquisition costs and lifetime value, but revenue per lead is a good leading indicator to start to understand, are we just generating a bunch of leads and no one's converting them? Or are we actually fueling our go-to-market machine and we're actually on track to hit that revenue target? When you look at revenue per lead on specific channels, it also helps you understand which channel to double down on. If social has a higher revenue per lead for you, well, you can double down on that versus SEO or ads or anything else. So now you know exactly the 3 principles plus the bonus metric to look at to ensure you have a proper go-to-market strategy and you are executing on it in the right way. What you may not know is, TK, how do I flesh out my messaging? How do I pick the right channel? How do I make sure I'm instrumenting this in the right way so I can track the revenue per lead? How do I make sure I'm actually converting the leads to revenue? Well, if you're at this stage where you're building out your go-to-market machine, a scalable go-to-market machine to hit the type of pipeline numbers that you need to hit the revenue numbers that you want to have this year, well, this is how I help inside of my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. The whole point of this program is to help you go from a relatively undefined or unscalable go-to-market strategy to a well-defined and scalable go-to-market strategy that's going to allow you to hit the pipeline numbers you need to hit the growth that you want. There's 3 core things we focus on inside of this program. First, we flesh out your ideal customer profile. The more specific we are about your ideal customer profile, the more likely you are to be effective in your execution. Now, everyone thinks that they have an ICP until they work with me. One of the biggest mistakes with an ICP is thinking it's your entire market versus thinking about, if I'm at 1 million and I want to add another million, or I want to get to 3 million, what does that ICP look like? So I'll guide you through that whole ICP creation process. Once you have your ICP, then comes the second step. This is where we flesh out your manifesto. Your manifesto is your positioning, it's your messaging, it's your strategic narrative. It's how you communicate to the world who you are, what you guys do, and why you're 10 times better than anyone else and completely differentiated. It's also one of the tools we use to drive urgency in deals so that your sales cycles can be collapsed. Once you have these 2 pieces, you essentially have your go-to-market strategy. Then comes the execution. The execution is the Broadway show pillar. The Broadway show is a consistent set of sales and marketing activities that you're going to run to bring your manifesto to your ICP on a consistent basis using the right channels. And I'll teach you how to do that. It is an incredible program. It is now my 6th year running the program. We've had incredible success stories that we've shared. We've given out awards for companies that are hitting $1 million in ARR, $3 million in ARR, and beyond. So if you want to work together, just go to tkkader.com/GTM. tkkader.com/GTM for all the details. Now, the better the fit, the better the results. So the way this works is, if this looks like a fit for you, you just book a call. Fill out a little form and schedule a time. On the call, we're going to figure out where you are, what your goals are, and what's holding you back. If it sounds like it's a fit, we're off to the races right away. Typically, founders that join the program are able to revamp their go-to-market strategy within 3 weeks of joining, and they're able to start executing on it. And as you're executing, I'll guide you through the whole process to make sure you're able to scale. It's an incredible program, so just go to tkkader.com/GTM for all the details. So now you know the key things you need to remember as you're building out your go-to-market strategy. If you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. And honestly, so do we. We put a lot of love into these videos. Also, if you have a fellow founder, if you have a team member that will get value from this video, if you're part of a WhatsApp group, a Slack group, if you know other founders that will get value, please share this video with them. It would just mean the world to us. Also, I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon, and you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode or inside the SaaS Go-to-Market Coaching Program. Take care, everybody. I don't know if you're going to include that or not, but Oh. All right, let's do this. What's up? Woo.